The chapter opens in the wake of Roman Dmitri's ultimatum. The communication has been cut, the room is silent, and the reality of the situation is settling in like cold iron. Marquis Belfier and Count Gomez are not men who break easily, but right now neither of them is hiding it. They're rattled. Gomez lays it out plainly. 100,000 troops pushing toward Valhalla's capital should be impossible. By any conventional measure it is. But Roman Dmitri doesn't fight by conventional measures. The man carved his legend in the war with Kronos, capturing fortified positions that should never have fallen, leaving nothing behind but ash and reputation. Even if his force is small, Belfier and Gomez know the damage he would inflict before anyone could stop him would be catastrophic. Belfier reaches his decision. There's only one move left. He has to go directly to the Emperor. In the Valhalla Empire, there is one rule above all others. You do not seek an audience with the Emperor unless he calls for you. Those who have broken that rule in the past didn't get the chance to regret it. Belfier and Gomez know this. They walk into the Imperial Palace anyway. The throne room is vast and cold. The Emperor is somewhere in the distance, draped in indifference. But as the two commanders reach the steps of the throne and drop to their knees, something shifts. The weight of what they've just done crashes over both of them. Sweat soaks through their composure. Their bodies are trembling before a single word is spoken. The Emperor rises. He approaches slowly. His footsteps echo through the hall with quiet, deliberate menace. He speaks Belfier's name. What follows is not a trial, it's a statement. Before Belfier can even finish answering, the Emperor strikes him. A backhanded blow so forceful it snaps his head sideways and rings off the stone walls. Then a second strike, then a third, each one harder than the last, until Belfier is coughing blood on the floor of the imperial throne room. Count Gomez watches in silent horror, unable to move. Standing over the broken marquis, the Emperor doesn't rage. He's almost calm, and that makes it worse. He reminds them both why they were given power in the first place, so they wouldn't become a burden to him. And yet here they are, crawling into his presence with news of failure. Then he says something unexpected. He admits he has never truly liked anyone born in Valhalla. Their warrior pride, their ancient traditions, their talk of strength and honor. He calls it the noise of people who are too weak to face reality. What comes next is the chapter's most revealing moment. The Emperor confesses that when he looks at Roman Dmitri, he is reminded of something from his own past. A time when arrogant voices rejected him, the rightful heir, and tried to force him into submission under the weight of imperial tradition. He hated those people. But Roman Dmitri, a commoner from the Empire's outer rim who has built himself into Valhalla's most dangerous enemy, the Emperor doesn't hate him the same way. He almost respects it. He says Roman has grasped the true, ruthless nature of what Valhalla is, better than most people born inside it ever did. That dark amusement lasts for exactly a moment. Then the Emperor snaps. Another brutal flurry of strikes rains down on Belfier, and somewhere in the middle of it a new strategy takes shape in the Emperor's mind. His order is short and absolute. March on Hernard. Leave no one alive. Belfier and Gomez, barely able to stand, shout their obedience and scramble to carry it out. The Emperor covers his face with one hand, smiling. He poses one final question to the empty room, to Roman Dmitri, wherever he is. What will your choice be? The next morning, Valhalla's war machine is already moving. One of the continent's most powerful armies marches straight for Hernard, and every step of it is reported directly back to Roman Dmitri. Inside his command tent, his second-in-command, Chris, raises the obvious concern. They know the Imperial army is coming. Is Roman certain he wants to continue? Roman doesn't hesitate. He explains it clearly. The moment he took Count Brigand's head, he stepped into a game with only two outcomes. There's no retreating from this. Without Dmitri's military pressure, the Hernard rebellion collapses. And if Hernard falls, Roman finds himself trapped between two massive empires simultaneously, Valhalla and Kronos, with no room to breathe. This war, he tells Chris, runs entirely on momentum. The side that stops first loses everything. He leans over the war map and points to 3 territories, Lunos, Port Bell and Santino. These 3 strongholds form the shortest path to Valhalla's capital, and beyond Santino sits something even more valuable, a major warp point that would give Dmitri instant strike capability anywhere within Valhalla's borders, including the capital itself. His timeline: capture all 3 within 1 week, and they become the most dangerous force Valhalla has ever had to face. Roman's expression doesn't waver. He's already issued his silent challenge to the Emperor. Now he waits to see if the Emperor truly understands what he's walking into. The scene shifts to Lunos. Viscount Lunos stands on his fortress walls, watching Roman's army arrive. He has direct orders from the Emperor. He doesn't need to win. He just needs to hold long enough to buy the capital a few extra days. But day 1 passes. No siege. Roman's army simply camps outside the gates. Soldiers queue for hot meals and rest in shifts. It's almost relaxed. By day 2, Viscount Lunos is losing his composure. Why aren't they attacking? Is this even a siege? He tries to rationalize it. No army of 100,000 can realistically take an empire. There must be a limit to what Roman can do. Then a messenger arrives, gasping for breath. Port Bell is under attack by Roman himself. Right now, Port Bell is located entirely behind Lunos's position. If Roman is personally leading an assault there, then what exactly is the army camped in front of the fortress walls? The realization hits like a physical blow. Lunos had been watching a decoy the entire time. 3 days earlier, inside the rebel camp, Duke Vieto received the news of the Northern Front's collapse and the deaths of Alvarez and Caesar. The losses are severe. But one of his commanders, Sanchez, a follower of Morales, isn't surprised. He had predicted Roman's return. He reminds the Duke that even when the Valhalla imperial family sent assassins after Roman, the man came back on his own terms, victorious. Duke Vieto refocuses on their role in all of this. The rebellion cannot topple Valhalla by force alone. What it can do is spread truth, show the people of Valhalla that change is possible, that the imperial family's grip is not unbreakable. Every day they hold out, the message gets louder. With Roman keeping the imperial army occupied, the emperor can't dedicate his full focus to crushing them. If the rebels can survive 15 more days, Vieto believes the people will rise. But the Emperor of Valhalla has already made his own calculation. Having abandoned the northern front entirely to Roman's advance, he redirects a staggering 1,000,000-strong army, led by his personal elite force, the Royal Knights, directly to Hernard. The intent is total annihilation. Not a siege, not a negotiation. The complete and permanent end of the rebellion. A Hernard commander looks at the incoming force and can barely form the words. How are they supposed to stop that? The answer, for now, is that they can't. 2 generals, 2 colossal armies. And in the middle of it all, Roman Dmitri playing a game of war that nobody else has fully read yet. The Emperor thinks he's closing the trap. Roman thinks he's already sprung his. Which one of them is right? That's what the next chapter begins to answer. If you're watching this far, drop a like and subscribe. This arc is far from over, and things are about to get very complicated for everyone involved.